welcome to this video series on SQL, Structured Query Language, the backbone of modern data management. Whether you're just starting out or looking to strengthen your database skills, this series is designed just for you. Have you ever wondered how search engines retrieve data instantly or how e-commerce websites store your cart items? The answer lies in SQL, the language that communicates with databases to store, retrieve, and manage data efficiently. In this series, we'll cover everything from the basics of creating tables and retrieving data to more advanced topics like transactions and performance optimization. Plus, I'll share real-world examples to help you connect the dots. So, get ready to master SQL step by step. By the end of this series, you'll have the confidence to work with any relational database like a pro. Stay tuned, and let's dive into the world of databases together.
Okay, now students, we will see the second part of the SQL. So SQL has three parts. One is DDL that we have seen, 4 commands. Then we have something called DML, data manipulation language. So DDL is for the structure or the schema, right? So it deals with the structure of a table and the deletion of the structure. And DML, data manipulation language, deals with the data inside this. So this basic difference you need to remember. It is for the structure and it is for what? The data. It has nothing to do with the data, and this DML has nothing to do with the data. So how many commands are there? So once you have the structure or once you have the table created inside a database, so what you can do is, if this table is created with these column names, so you can insert a data, and for inserting a data, which command is used? Exactly, insert command is used. Now after insertion, you can update the data. Now again and again I'm saying a data. So for updation, which command is used, students? Update command is used. Then for deletion, you can delete this data, not the table. You can delete the data from the table, and for that, which command is used? Delete command is used. But most importantly, the select command is used. So what is a select command? Select command is for the retrieval. What kind of a retrieval? Selective retrieval. So if you want these 2 rows, then you can select. If you want these 3 rows, again you can select. If you want this entire row, you can select. If you want this portion, you can select. If you want that portion, you can select. You have to specify the conditions, right? With the help of condition, you can select any data, and with this selection, actually the whole information retrieval process will work. So that's really a very important command, select command. And we'll start from the insert command because we have already created a table, and then we would see update command also, and then we would see a delete command also in that. What is the syntax for insert command? The syntax is, again, all the syntaxes in SQL are simple. So you have to use this insert, this is highlighted part, this is a keyword, into, and you have to supply the table name. So if you are inserting into a students, so you have to write students, and if you are inserting into an employee table, so you have to write employee. Then you have to specify some columns, on which column you are inserting. So if employee is there, then employee name, employee ID, and the other column names would be there. And then the values, the actual values. And as far as the values are concerned, I would say one thing: for varchar, single quote is required, and even for the date, single quote is required, but the format would be what? Format, you remember, y, m, and dd. So it works in a different or in a reverse order that we use in our common practice. So first year would come, so you have to write 2014, and then you have to write a month, which is maybe a 12, and then you have to write a date, which is maybe a 30. So this format would be interpreted as a date object by the SQL. And if you are writing any name, let's say ABC, so you have to write it within a single quote. Within a single quote you have to write. Other than these, for example, the numbers, so number you can simply write 12, 13, and even you can write 12.13. So all of these things you can write like this. Then here we see modifying the existing data in a table. So for that, which command we use? Update command we use. So update table name set column is equal to value 1 where condition. You have to write like this. Then uh, what is the purpose of that? So once the salary is updated or once your marks are updated, you can use this update command. Update the salary of an employee. Of which employee? So where you need to specify the condition. Where is the condition? Basically we will see each and every query right now only. So remove delete command. The first command is insert, then you can update, and then you can delete also. So delete command is used to delete some data from the table, and here you have to again specify the condition. Remember the syntax: delete from table name where condition. Update table name set column is equal to set column 1 is equal to value 1, and you have to specify a condition. So slightly different syntaxes are there, but once you execute only the one query, you will understand each and every syntax in this. And then the most important command I said, it is what? A select command. And select is for the retrieval. And how this select command work actually, this is a universal syntax inside the SQL. The universal syntax says that you have a select keyword, and then after that you have to supply the attribute names. So we are just writing star or a asterisk, that means all attributes. It's a Unix terminology. Select all, right? From which table? So you have to write from which table? Employee table. First time it will look weird if you are just looking at SQL first time, but from the second time you will say that, okay, it's a part of my life. So I can run or I can write any kind of a query in SQL. It is so simple and it is so powerful and it is so interesting also. Now after that you have to write where condition. Where condition. So what is a condition? It's a binary thing on which some expression is evaluated. So for example, name is equal to what inside this, because this is a varchar Harry. Okay, so it will search for the Harry. Let me show you this, what I mean here. The employee table is there. This is the employee table, you can see. So name is there, employee ID is there, and department name is there. So these are the complete entries in the employee table. If you write this query, so it will search for the Harry. So where is the Harry? Harry is this one. And what you are selecting, actually you are selecting all the columns. So you are selecting this, you are selecting this, and you are also selecting this. So as a result, you would get one small table or one smaller table as compared to the big table, and it will contain only the selective information about Harry. I don't want Sally's information, Harriet or George's information. I'm interested only in the Harry's information. So here is the Harry's record. Then we have something called selection and projection. So what is the meaning of selection and projection? See this. You have this column name, you have this column name, you have this column name. You want only these two columns, and you want these columns for the employee ID greater than 3000. So how many values are there for employee greater than 3000? One is this and another is this, because these two values are less than this, right? So this row would be selected with these two columns, and another this row would be selected with these two columns. So final answer would be what? Name Harry, employee ID this, name George, employee ID this. So how would you write this query? You would write like this: select name, employee ID from employee where employee ID is greater than 3000. So if you write this query, so it will give the selective results. Next we will see, and we will execute on our MySQL. We will execute with the help of XAMPP server. So let's ready for this. Just before I execute anything, I would like to say, because we have already dropped the table of students, so I have created another new table in which how many columns are there? This is the first column, employee ID integer, employee name varchar. Instead of first name and the last name, I've taken the name itself. Then date of joining, then salary, which is decimal, and then text. Bio is for the biography. So all the 5 data types we have covered in this table. So first data type, second data type, third data type, fourth data type, and this is the fifth data type. This is a large text. Obviously, if you're writing a biography, so it would be a large text. It would be very big, large text that you have to enter into a database. So how many columns we have taken? We have taken this one, 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 and this is the last column. This table we are going to create. So table structure would be like this. Once you execute this command, first column, second column, third column, fourth column, and then fifth column. And here the ID would be there. Then you have name would be there. Then date would be there, date of joining. Then salary would be there, and at last biography will be there. These 5 columns would be there. After creating this table, we would insert some raw data also, not the raw data, exactly one value we would insert. So syntax here, once again, I'll show you the syntax for insert command. Insert into employee. This is the table name. How many columns we are inserting? First, second, third, fourth, and fifth. These column names you have to supply. And the values, this is a keyword. What are the values we are looking for? First is the integer. So no quote is required. Then you can say a single quote is there. The name is Sundar. Again, because the date is represented using YY, MM, and DD format. But here, even after this format, we have to supply the single quote to differentiate. Now the SQL engine will understand this is a date object. This is a decimal value. This is a decimal value. Maximum, how it can go, how long it can go. Maximum, these can be the 8 digits, because here we have taken what? 10. So what is the meaning of 10 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 we have covered. Then we have to put a dot. 1, 2 we can take. Right? Or 9, 10, 9 or 0 you can write it here. But total digits, if you count, then it is 10, including the decimals. So this is the syntax that you have to follow. Then what is the biography? Biography is Sundar is a highly skilled software engineer. This way we are going to insert the value. Now Sundar is since Sundar is a skilled software engineer, so obviously salary is going to be updated. Earlier it was 55K, now it has become 60K. So how can we update the value of salary? So you have to write this command: update employees, set salary, which is equal to 60K, and condition is what? Condition is only the Sundar salary is going to be incremented, not all the employees. Otherwise, what will happen if you don't write this condition? Condition is what? I'm just incrementing as an employer salary of what? Sundar. Okay, no, nobody else is getting the increment at the salary. Only the Sundar is getting the increment. So what is the condition for that? Where employee ID is equal to 1. This way, from 55K, it will become what? 60K. The salary will become 60K. Later, Sundar has left the organization because he is a highly skilled person, so he got another job offer. So I can remove this employee also from my organization. How can I remove? With the help of this delete command. With the help of what? Delete command. So delete from employees where employee ID is equal to 1, because Sundar has switched to another organization. So I need to delete this employee. If I don't specify this where condition, what will happen? All the employees of my organization are going to be deleted. Okay, students, so here are we in our MySQL. So let me quickly write the code for creating the employee. So in my SQL database, because we have to select a database, and in SQL portion, you have to write this code: create table employees. And how many columns are there? Employee ID, which is integer, name, which is varchar, date of joining, which is date, decimal is the data type of salary, and then text is data type of what? Bio. So I hope when we execute this command, you would see a table here inside this MySQL database. So if I run this, you can see that the query has been executed in this time, and If you click on that, you will find a columns. So you would find 5 columns are there. So table is created. Once again, congratulations. Now first entry, how can we insert a first entry? We have seen that this syntax. So let's quickly write once again uh, to this. And here, instead of this, what I would do here, I would write a insert command. And this insert command, let me just correct all the values are there or not. Yes, insert into employees, employee ID, yeah, all the columns are there, and then all the values are there. So 5 columns and 5 values are there. So if I run this query, so you can see there, one row has been inserted. One row has been inserted, and this is the time taken by our MySQL engine or the SQL engine. Now, how can I see that thing? Right. So how can I see before that? Can I insert one more? Yeah, I can insert one more also. So instead of one, I would write two. And then instead of Sundar, I would write uh, Anil. And date of joining is 23. And then salary is 50K. And he is highly skilled database designer or database administrator, or I straight away write DBA, database administrator. So if I run this query second time, so again in just uh, this amount of time, another row has been inserted. How many rows are there in total? 2 rows are there. How can you see that? Just to see that, what you have to do, student, you have to write this query, select, then star from which table? Table is employees. So this table is, you can see here, employee ID, and then you can have employee name, date of joining, salary, all the columns are there. And then you can see that two rows are inserted and two employees are there. Now Sundar is uh, getting an increment from 55K. His salary is going to be incremented to 60K. So what can I write for that? So the syntax for this update command would be like this. You have to go to this SQL part, and here you have to write this thing. Update employees, set salary is equal to 60,000. Whose salary? If you don't write where condition, what will happen? Even the Anil will get 60K. That we don't want. We want only the salary of the Sundar to be updated. So we need to write a condition where employee ID is equal to 1. Where employee ID is equal to 1. Otherwise, what will happen? I'll show you that. So if you don't write where condition, all the salaries would be updated to 60,000. Let me run this query and let me show you. Employees, if you go there, so Sundar's salary has been incremented to 60K. You can see that. Now, if you don't write this thing, let's say you are not writing this, and this time you are incrementing to 65K, and you want only for the Sundar. But what will happen as a result? If you don't write a condition, all the salaries would be updated. Let me execute this query and show to you what I mean here. So here you can see, even we never want other salary to be incremented or to be updated, but it has updated. So where condition is very important in this, right? Now, even after incrementing so much salary, Sundar has got another job offer. So Sundar has left the organization. So once he left the organization, what we have to do? We have to delete his record. So how can I delete this record? Just by writing this simple command. Delete from employees where employee ID is equal to 1. Again, if you don't write, what will happen? All the employees would be deleted. So delete command and update command are very dangerous commands. So it is always work, or you should always execute with where clause or with condition. Right, let me quickly execute this. So again, because it's a web interface, so it is asking, do you really want to delete this, Sundar? Just taking our last confirmation from the system side. So yes, I want. So now if you see there, you can see that the Sundar is gone from this organization, right? And if you don't specify the condition, what will happen? Let me take you there. and I don't specify any condition. Delete from employees, right? So if I execute this command, table will become what? Empty. So even if it has 100 rows, it will not have any row remaining. All the rows would be deleted from this table. So this is about the basics of what DML, students. DML is data manipulation language, in which insert, update, delete, and select command is there. So you know now how to insert a data, you know how to update a data, and you also know how to delete a data from a table. Now the select command is very powerful, and most of the time, I would say 99.9% you would be using only the select command, because most of the time it's not for the insertion, it's for the selective data retrieval. So next we would see, students, the select command and how can we effectively retrieve the data from the select command. Okay, students. Yeah, once again, good morning, students. So now in this session, we would see how we can run the SQL queries, and we can understand how information retrieval can be done using the SQL queries. For understanding this, I would say you have to just somewhere note it down. This is the basic form for information retrieval. What is the meaning of information retrieval? You have one big table, or you have too many tables, and from these tables or from one table, basically you are just selecting some information based on your requirement. So what is the syntax for this? You have three keywords. One is select. What you are selecting the attribute. That means what that means the column, on which column you are performing the operation. From is a keyword, and then you have to give or supply one table or maybe more than one table. So if you are selecting information from multiple tables, then you have to supply the multiple tables. And this is literally very important. You have to supply the conditions also. Condition, they are the mathematical operations. They are the mathematical expression, I should say mathematical expression. They are either evaluated to either as true or false. So if it is true, then the rows are selected, and if the condition is false, then they are not selected. Let me give you one by one example. This is a simple table that we have created earlier: employee ID, employee name, date of joining, salary, and bio. And I have inserted or reinserted because all the data was deleted. So I have inserted 8 rows in that, starting from the employee ID 1 up to 8. So how many rows I have inserted? Now all of you know that how you can insert any value. What about the date? This would be inserted into this form within a single quote. This is again within a single quote. This is again within a single quote, right? So this way you can insert. So how many rows I have already inserted? 8 rows I have inserted. Now from this table, if you are selecting a data based on some conditions, so we have to understand one by one those queries. So first one is, if you are interested in an entire table, select all the records. I don't want any condition, I want all the records. So the syntax for this is select asterisk from employee. So if you write this command, what will happen? What will happen? Entire table or entire data would be selected. This is the first command that you are going to execute in information retrieval. But most of the time we are not interested in all the tables or all the table records. We are just interested in simple records. So for example, you can specify the columns. So I am interested in employee name, and I'm also interested in salary. That's it. Two things are required. You are making some kind of a biography, or you are just making some kind of a report. So employee name and salary is required, right? So how can you write this command? So instead of star, you have to give employee name and then salary. From which table? From employees table. This is the second command that you can execute. Then now I want some employees whose salary are greater than 60K. 60K. So I don't want this and I even don't want this because it is greater than 60, this would be selected, this would not going to be selected, this is going to be selected, this is not going to be selected, this is going to be selected. So how many tuples or a row are going to be selected? Rahul would be, and then Vikram, and then last Anil would be selected in this. So if you are supplying a condition salary greater than 60,000, so the SQL engine will look only for those employees whose salary is greater than 60,000. See how easy it is to write a SQL query. Okay, if you are writing a C++ program or a C program, it will take at least 1 day for the beginners, just for this information retrieval, right? So it's not as easy. Then you have multiple conditions can also be there. So I want all those employees who join after January 2021, and I also want from this whose salary is greater than 60,000, greater than 60,000. So here salary is greater than 60, you have already written this query. Then what about the date of joining? So in date of joining, you can write this greater than operator and you can supply the date. So this is 1st January 2021. So what is the condition? 1st January 2021. Let's see 2021. So Amit can be there, and then Amit can be there. Uh, this Priya can be there, and then Sneha can also be there, right? And then this guy can also be there. But among these, we have to search for salary also greater than 60,000. So Amit 55, so Amit is not selected. And then Priya, again not greater than 60, not selected. Sneha again not selected, and then Ritu again not selected. So this query is going to return no results. Actually, no employees who join after 21 and having a salary greater than 60,000. I hope you understood. You guys understood the meaning of this query and how this query is going to work. Now, in this query, we need to show the employees who are either. So that means just one condition is sufficient. Either the name is Amit Kumar or have a salary less than 50,000. Less than 50,000. So first condition is we are looking for Amit Kumar. So there is only one Amit. So this we have selected. Finally, he is selected. Amit Kumar is selected. Now less than 50,000. Less than 50,000. So Amit is already selected. So we are not going. This one is not. This one is not. This one is selected. This one is not. This one is selected, and this one is also selected. This one is not selected. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Tuples would be selected from this query. So now you are getting some insights of SQL, how the SQL is working. Here we would see some more details and some more, a complex kind of a query. Show the details of employee who join after January 2022 and either have a salary. So after that, there is or condition. Either have a salary greater than 70,000 or their name is Neha. Name is Neha. So 1st January 22, after this is one condition, and the second condition is from a Neha or a salary greater than 70,000, you have to select. This is the complex query. We would see the output on our SQL interface. Then I will take you to the SQL interface. There I will try to show you the data as well as I'll try to show you the query also. And MySQL web interface. And this is the data that you can see, exactly the same data that we have seen on our whiteboard. So this data is having 8 rows, or this table is having how many rows? 8 rows are there. Exactly the same data as there. Now I would go to the SQL part, and here I would write some queries that we have already seen. So the first query that we have seen is just 1 second. Yes, now. So to show all the records, which query is required? Select a star from employees to show all the record employees. So if you run this query and when you run this query, so you would see all the tables. So sorry, all the records in a table. All the things are there because we have not specified any condition. What else you can do, students? You can specify columns also. So how can you specify a column? So instead of writing this, you can write employees salary. Just two columns are needed for this. Uh, Let me check this. And then if I run this query, so here you can see that the output is what? Employee name and the salary. So only two columns are visible. So now you have selected some data. You have discarded all the other columns and you have selected data. But in this, all the rows are there. So if you want, then you can count it. These are the 8 rows. Then what else we can do here? We can write this query also. We are interested only in those people who are having a salary greater than 60,000. So we have already counted how many people are there. Let's see by this. So Rahul is selected, Vikram is selected, and Anil is selected because they are having 75K and above, sorry, 60K and above salary. So this is very simple actually. One or two more queries I will run, and then we would see another syntax. So now I'm interested in this query. I go to SQL and I'm interested in this query. Date of joining greater than 21, year 21, and the month and the date is also January 1st. Then salary is greater than 60K. So AND operator is there. The meaning is that both the conditions should be true. Let's run this and see. So we have also seen that nobody is there in this table who's having or who is satisfying these two conditions. So we have counted no tuple is there, and the query also results in a 0 rows or no rows. Now if I write this query, so this query is what about these two conditions are there. So employee name is equal to Amit Kumar or salary is less than 50,000. I think we have counted 3. Let's check once again. Yes, 3 are there. Amit is there, and then Priya is there having a salary less than how much? Less than this. And then Ritu is also there having a salary or having satisfying this condition. So all the rows are selected satisfying these two conditions. Last query I'm going to run here, and this query is more complex. Let's see how many tuples it is returning. So where date of joining is less than this, after that two more conditions are there, and this is OR operator. So salary greater than 70K also selected. Employee name is equal to Neha Sharma also selected. Let's see, few rows would be there in this, and let's see who is there. So Neha Sharma, obviously she is going to come, and then salary greater than 70. So Rahul is coming, then Vikram is also coming, and then Anil is also coming, and they are having date of joining less than 21. So you have seen that the date of joining is less than 2022. So they are also coming in that. So this way you can start a student. So practice is required in SQL. More you will do the practice, more you will understand the structure of SQL, and more your scientific thinking in terms of information retrieval will be developed. Okay, students, in next session we would see order by clause, and we would see sorting, and we would see aggregate functions, and we would see group by commands. A lot of things are there in that. In next session we will see all these things. Okay, students, thank you.